Hi, this is Maddie with Brinkley RV. First and foremost, thank you and congratulations on your purchase of your Brinkley Model I travel trailer. We know you're excited to get out on that first camping trip, but before we get into that, first let's take a look at an overview of the camper so you know what's what and know how to utilize this camper to the best of your camping needs. In this video, we'll go through any general features that are found across the entire Model I lineup. I'll call out anything that may vary on specific floor plans for you, or we'll caption it below. If you have any questions or looking for more information on Model I, be sure to refer to your Brinkley dealer, contact us directly, or refer to our Owner's Hub on our website. The general exterior of every Model I is going to feature our seamless laminated aluminum exterior. This means that we're taking a Uramax Stronglite aluminum and laminating it onto Azdel composite panels. The exterior panel will be a 4.7 millimeter thick panel, and then the interior a 2.7 millimeter thick. Having Azdel is going to prevent any sort of rotting should water ever get into those sidewalls. The front cap on Model I is going to be that same material but a thicker gauge metal, and then it is going to feature a rock guard that's going to help prevent any debris from dinging that front cap as well. If you're looking for any tips on exterior maintenance and care, be sure to refer to our Owner's Hub. So now let's talk about the guts of the Model I trailers. Looking in the pass-through storage, first we've got our insulated baggage doors. You can find these in all of your exterior compartments. And then in here, in your pass-through, we have the garage floor liner, the tough ply liner. So that's gonna help prevent any of your cargo from moving around in transport. And then off to the wall here, you can see all of our power switches. So first we have our 12-volt power switch, which this will disconnect everything except for your refrigerator, jacks, and your solar system. The middle here is your solar disconnect, which will turn off any solar that could charge your batteries. And then your storage mode disconnect, which will disconnect everything. It's also called your main disconnect. Below you can find your light switches for your pass-through storage, and then also your front cap lights. Off to the right, a GFCI protected outlet, and then your inverter control board here. This is one way that you can turn on that 3000 watt inverter, or there's a switch on the inverter itself. Below you'll find one of two hot and cold water spray ports, and we do provide you a spray nozzle as well. Below you can find an access panel for running any sort of hoses through here, for example that spray nozzle, so you can actually close that baggage door, run the hose through this port, and then you won't have any critters coming into your pass-through. On the opposite wall, you'll find your manual cranks for that spare tire and your jacks. So now we're gonna make our way up to the front of the unit here at the tongue. So this is going to be where you can house your batteries. Here on this bar is gonna be room for two Group 27 batteries. This here is your LP compartment box. So inside of this box, you will find two empty 30-pound LP tanks. Before your first camping trip, you're gonna wanna make sure that you fill those with propane. Your dealer can help you with that, or a lot of gas stations around too, or hardware stores. You can replace this plastic box with the Model Z Air metal box through your dealer using our aftermarket kit if you wish. Up front, you'll find your electric tongue jack here. Now there is going to be a manual override you can perform in those emergency situations. Please refer to our Owner's Hub or our Owner's Manual for more information on how to do that manual override. You have two buttons on the top here. You have a on-off switch for that LED light, and then you have your extend and retract, which will move the tongue jack up and down. Below, you'll find the Demco Easy Latch coupler, which is going to make hitching up to your tow vehicle breeze. All you do is lift up when you're lining up your hitch ball, and then down once you're lined up and ready to connect. Below, you'll find your 7-way cord, which is going to connect your trailer to your tow vehicle. This is going to help power all of your exterior lights on the unit, any braking, and then it will also help trickle charge your batteries when they're installed. Below, you'll find another really important safety feature, which is going to be your 6-foot coiled breakaway cord. This is important to have connected to your tow vehicle while you're traveling, because if you're to ever be in a situation where your trailer disconnects from your tow vehicle, this will pull the cord and then activate your trailer's brakes. Also, you'll find your safety chains down there. It's important to make sure those are crossed and not straight on when connected to your tow vehicle. Let's talk electrical and solar components across the Model I lineup. In your pass-through storage, you'll find majority of these parts. On the front wall, you'll find your 3000 watt inverter. Again, like I mentioned before, there are 2 power switches, either one on your control board and the door side of the pass-through, or you have a power switch directly on the inverter itself. It's important to make sure that you keep the bottom area clear so the inverter can properly vent. The inverter is going to be tied to all the outlets inside the coach except for your second AC if your floor plan has one, your microwave, your fireplace, and the dishwasher prep outlet under your sink. Now you have your Victron 30 amp MPPT charge controller, which will be tied to a 200 watt solar panel that is mounted on the roof. We do have room for 2 additional panels, so you can get up to 600 watts of solar. Another important area in this pass-through storage is going to be this access panel, which will take you into more of the basement area. This is going to be where you can do some maintenance items, and then also just get a good visual of your ducting, which features our Thermoflex ducting. You get access to your water pump here, and then you also can see all of these plumbing fixtures that connect to your utility center. This is also a great access point to that 65-foot integrated hose reel. So here you can see the reel, and it does sit on a tray which has its own drain through the underbelly material, just in case of a leak were to ever happen. Another important feature about Model I and all Brinkley RVs are our wire harnesses that we use. These wire harnesses are all going to be pre-tested, they're loomed, labeled, and color-coded for easier maintenance on your end. Now let's take a look at our utility center here. So this is going to be where majority of the water hookups take place. Starting up top, we have our electric stabilizer jack controls. So you go up to extend them, down to retract them. An important thing to note here is that you're going to want to make sure that those foot pads are down towards the ground, not caught up. You could risk damaging the system if you have them up. There's also a manual override if you don't have access to the electric controls here. You can refer to our owner's hub or our owner's manual for more information on how to perform that override. Below, you'll find the second hot and cold water port here. Off to the right, your water pump switch. This is one of 2 locations. You have one here and then one on your Brinkley Smart Command Center inside. And then off to the left, you have your satellite, cable, and auxiliary inserts for any TVs you want to hook up or cable or satellite dishes. And then here you'll find your Nautilus system. So this is going to tell you how to configure these knobs here based on the type of camping you're looking to do or the type of water hookups you're going to have. Below you'll find your city water inlet, or you can fill your fresh tank through here as well. And then your black tank flush if you want to flush out those black tanks after you dump them out. Below you'll find that 65-foot hose, and then another access port if you wish to run any hoses through here with this pass-through door closed. Now off to the right, you'll find a light here so you can see what you're working with, and then below another GFCI protected outlet. Another important thing to note on the utility center is this QR code here. This will lead you directly to the owner's hub for any how-to videos that you may need when working with your water systems. Also, we'll have a winterization video on there and how to de-winterize if you're getting back into camping season. Now, here's also an important location showing some labels. So first one we have is our manufacturer's label. This will tell you the date that your unit was manufactured, the month and year. It gives you your GVWR, your unloaded weight, your true weight of the coach as it's exiting the factory. And then also below we have our tire and loading information. This is very important information to know before you get on that first trip. So now we're on the rear of the off-door side of the Model I. This here is the 265, but depending on your floor plan, these locations may vary. It'll still always be on that off-door side of your unit though. Starting off, we have our low point drains, and then off to the right, our termination valve. You'll notice it has a clear cap, which is going to help you see anything that could be coming out so you don't have any surprises. And then this cap is also on a lanyard so you don't lose it. Here you can find your sewer hose storage, and it does have a travel latch on it so you can make sure it's locked away while you're traveling. And then you can find each one labeled your tank drains here so you can pull those valves and then drain your tank. Off to the right, you'll find our 50 amp shore power here. We do provide you a cord, and then on this floor plan, your tankless water heater will be on the rear here. If you're looking for more information on how to maintenance your water heater, be sure to refer to that owner's manual or our owner's hub. At the rear of every Model I, you'll find your ladder. This is going to have a 250-pound weight capacity. Then we do include grab handles up top on the roof to allow easier access to getting up top and checking any seals. We also have our 2-inch receiver hitch, and this is rated for a 300-pound carrying capacity. It's only meant for carrying, not for towing. Up top, you'll see our backup camera prep. This is prep for a Furrion backup camera. You can access those parts through your Brinkley dealer. Now moving on to the entry door, we do supply you keys with this nice tag here that has contact information directly to our customer care and our website. There's also a QR code on here that's going to lead you directly to that owner's hub. So this is really nice to have. You also have your VIN handy on here, and then you have 2 sets for your main entry door and then your compartment doors as well. The entry door itself is going to be insulated, and then you've got some nice features on here as well. But your entry steps, really important thing to note is that you make sure that this is latched in all the way on your transport days. So to unlatch, all you do is pull the blue lever and pull down. Before we pull them down, another part to note here is that you can adjust these legs. I always recommend bringing them down on your travel days just to prevent anything from happening to the screen if you're to have a rough travel day. So all you do is push down, and then those will slide right down. So let's get this opened up and set up. Pull the latch, bring them down, and then bring your footsteps down as well. That's going to give you a nice stable base to get in and out of your unit. Off to the left, we have our MORryde safe T-rail that extends all the way down. And then this does include a travel pin, so you're going to want to make sure that you secure that on your travel days as well. On the door side or camp side of the Model I, you can find your spare tire access port. So this is going to be where you insert that manual crank to drop down that spare tire. And then here will be for your slide system if you need to manually bring out or in that slide. Up above, you'll find another GFCI protected outlet. And then now let's talk running gear. So every Model I, except for the I-235, will have tandem 5,100-pound axles with reinforced axle hangers. The 235 is a shorter, lighter weight unit, so that has tandem 4,400-pound axles, again with those reinforced hangers as well. Tires on all Model Is will be a 15-inch Hankook E-rated tire. It's going to be 10-ply. And then we do have a galvanized steel metal sheet on the wheel well lining it, so that's going to help protect your unit should a tire blowout ever happen on your travels. When looking at the tire here, you'll notice the yellow valve stem. That's going to signify that there is banded TPMS throughout, so that's going to be your tire pressure management system or monitoring system. We do provide you a viewing monitor that you can put in your cab of your truck to make sure that you're viewing your tire pressure correctly. We also equip Model I with the anti-lock braking system, True Course anti-sway technology, and dynamic brake boosters. All of this can be found through the Lippert One Control app where you can pair your system. Then you can get access to that towable odometer, which is really handy in terms of keeping track of what maintenance is coming up. Under your skirt metal, you can find your LP Quick Connect if you want to hook up an exterior grill on that door side, as well as your furnace. Again, your furnace location, just like your water heater, may vary depending on the floor plan. It's important to note that the awnings on the Model I are all going to vary in length depending on the floor plan, but they are all going to be electric. So that means you can power them either through your Brinkley Smart Command Center inside or through your phone if you have the Command Center paired with the One Control app via Bluetooth. Also, an important maintenance tip is to make sure that you have any debris cleared off, and then it's also completely dry when you retract it all the way in. You can pitch the arms just by pulling down, which is going to help lead water off to the side, which is going to prevent anything from pooling in the middle and causing damage to your awning system. So we've covered the exterior. Now let's take a look on the inside components that are important to know before your first camping trip. Starting off with our control panel, this can typically be found by the main entry door of every Model I. Starting off from left to right, we've got some important stickers. First up, we have our anti-lock braking system. This is going to be a QR code to pair that ABS to that One Control app. So you're going to want to download One Control, scan this QR code, and then you can pair your system there to access that towable odometer, and then also toggle off and on those systems. Below, you'll see some information about our complimentary 24/7 roadside assistance through SafeRide. And then first control is going to be our max air fan in our kitchen. So this is going to have a vent open, vent close, and then you can also turn the fan on or off. These are going to feature a rain sensor, so if it starts to sprinkle or even just downpour on you, it will automatically close so you aren't getting any water in your camper. The main Brinkley Smart Command Center here, this is, like I mentioned previously, compatible with the One Control app, so all you do is click this connect button for your Bluetooth, go to your settings, and then you can pair through there. This is going to show you your tank levels, your battery levels, all of your light switch controls, which you can hold these down to access the dimmable option. So all lights are going to be fully dimmable in the unit. And then you also have access to turn on your tank heaters, so that 12-volt heat pad on there, and then your water pump switch as well. Below you can find your controls to control that awning and your slide outs as well. Off to the right, you'll find your Rockford-Fosgate head unit. So this is going to control to that Rockford-Fosgate sound system. It's really cool because we have two zones. There's zone A, which is your interior zone, and then zone B, which is your exterior. Any exterior speakers are going to be undermount under the chassis and then mounted in a marine grade box. So it's going to be weatherproof. This is also a really cool feature because it can pair with your projector, so you can get that projector sound all throughout the unit, get that surround sound type of experience. And then it is prepped for a subwoofer, so you can add that in, control from either here or the RF Connect app. Again, Bluetooth compatible, so you can control any audio or controls from your campsite. And then that subwoofer prep is going to be located typically behind your trifold sofa. We always have a POP sticker there to help point out where that is. So now getting into the entertainment system in the Model I, we utilize the Smart Projector. It is a Nebula Capsule 3 projector, and you'll find it mounted into the ceiling here. So this can be dismounted, just unscrew it, and then you can take it out on the go to use as a portable speaker or a portable projector. It does have smart TV streaming capabilities, and you can get live channels when connected to Wi-Fi. When it's mounted up in the ceiling, there is an outlet up there, so you will have constant power when it's plugged in. You aren't going to be relying on that battery life when you're just watching TV from inside. So the actual viewing here that we have a two-shade system. The first shade will be your translucent screen, so this is going to allow you to get the exterior viewing through a reverse imaging that you can do on the projector. And then next is the opaque shade, so this is going to be solid and for your interior viewing. If you have an earlier Model I and would like to get the shade system here, you can contact your local Brinkley dealer for the aftermarket parts. Directly below your shades, you'll find a panel here that will include a HDMI port, so you can connect any gaming devices or a laptop to your projector. We have a single puck light switch here that's going to control the puck light directly in front of this projector, and that is going to be on a dimmer as well. Below you'll have your satellite and cable inserts and a GFCI protected outlet, as well as your fire extinguisher. Now directly below your projector, we have our dining table and electric fireplace. The dining table is super simple to use. All you do is lift up and out, and then you have a 4-person dinette here. So we do provide you 2 folding chairs that can be found underneath your mattress in that split level wardrobe area. And then you can also bring more chairs. So you can have 2 here and 1 on each side for that 4-person configuration. To bring the table in, again, all you do is lift up and then in and glide it through the track. We do include our utensil drawer here as well, and then cubby storage below. Now taking a closer look at our electric fireplace here, we do provide you a remote in that black Brinkley owner's bag that we provide, and then you also have controls down here at the bottom. So you have your power button. The next switch is a light bulb where you can go between the color of the flame. Next we'll toggle the intensity of the flame, and then off to the right we'll control your temperature. So if you click this or your arrow buttons on here, you can go all the way up to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. And then if you go past that, you have a just on feature and then a off feature to where you can blow just air, not necessarily heated air. The main air conditioner in the Model I unit will be the 18K BTU Furrion Chill Cube AC. This will be tied to that 3000 watt inverter, not your second AC, only your main. And then we do provide a remote sensor that comes with it. So this remote here has your on and off, your mode if you want to go between dry or cool or auto modes. That dry mode will be a built-in dehumidifier. You have your fan speed controls, your sleep if you'd like it to turn off for a certain amount of time. The swing button will control the oscillating swing. So this panel here will drop down into a fan and you can direct dump into this room then. The gear will be your eco mode, so that's going to really be nice for those situations where you might be limited on your power sources. And then LED, that's going to control the brightness of the LED display that will show your temperature. Up above, timer controls, and then turbo will be the maximum air fan speed. Center controls are going to be to toggle between that temperature you'd wish the room to be conditioned to. There is a follow me feature on this remote as well, so if you have this in your back pocket, this will be your thermostat, and it will adjust the temperature based off of this location. Another really cool feature about the Chill Cube is that when you're bringing power to it, it'll start around 5 amps and it will never go over 15 amps. Also, your second AC, if your floor plan has one, will be an 8K BTU Furrion Chill. Here in the slide out, we have a great example of our two types of windows that we use in our units. So you'll be able to see an emergency exit window. You can see those with the red tabs here, or they'll be marked with an exit label. And then we have our normal window, which is going to have that crank out system. To open up an emergency window, all you do is lift up on this red tab, straighten it out, and then straight through that slot there. Push it through, and then you'll see there's a little lip on the handle that will prop it open. We have an integrated bug screen here as well. If you pull this red or white tab from the outside, you can remove that screen altogether. We also have integrated blackout shades that have a thermofoil layer on the outside, so you get an added layer of insulation. So now let's talk about some of the appliances in the kitchen. First up, we have our refrigerator, which will be a Furrion 12 volt, 12 cubic foot refrigerator. This does have an automatic defroster built in, so you don't have to manually turn that on. Up above, you can find your control board here. So to power on the refrigerator or power off, you'll hold this button for 5 seconds, and we recommend powering this off for any situations where you're going to be storing your unit for a long period of time. Here you can see a check mark, lightning bolt, and a battery icon. That's going to be your battery monitor. So if you are anywhere over 15.5 volts or under 10.4 volts, you'll get a light up here on one of these icons. If you have that green check mark, you're within that range and you're good to go. In the center, this will be your temperature display. So you have a minus sign if you end up going to the negatives, and then your degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius. If you want to toggle between Fahrenheit and Celsius, all you do is hold the fridge and freezer button for 3 seconds. To control the actual temperature, you'll just use the plus and minus sign here. And then to turn off that automatic defroster, you'll press and hold the plus button for 3 seconds. We're now in the bedroom and wanted to show you this area here, your max space split level wardrobe. This is going to be where we house your chairs, the foldable chairs that we provide you, your bedding, which will come in a plastic wrap, and then we also have the hamper that we provide you in this area here. Also on the sides of the bed, you'll notice an outlet on each side, and this will have a USB and USB-C port as well. Now, a couple of important storage things to note in the bedroom here. Your floor-to-ceiling wardrobe does have a removable shelf here, so you can access that full hanging storage, or you can leave it in for that cubby storage. You have your drawers below, and then at the very bottom, you'll find your breaker box and fuse panel as well. Now, your TV prep, that'll be found here, and it does have a 1/2-inch wood backer. That's going to be about 2/3 of the space there. Up above, you'll find your antenna booster, your cable insert, satellite, and an outlet for that TV. And then below, you can find your 8K BTU Furrion Chill AC controls and your light switch with the dimmer. Last but not least, you'll find your second emergency exit window in the bedroom. We're now in the bathroom of the Model I, and a couple of important tips starting off with the glass shower door here. On your travel days, it is vital to make sure that this latch is in the locked position. So all you do is bring this latch down, and then you're going to want to hear a click. That click is going to tell you it's all the way secured. It's also really important to make sure any and all pocket doors are fully in that locked position as well. The location may vary depending on your floor plan, but in the 265 here, you'll find your water heater controls inside this cupboard here. So basically that's going to have a up and down and then degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit toggle. That's going to be how you control the temperature you'd like your water to be at. Below that, you'll find your toilet paper holder. On your wall, you'll find your light switches, so you have controls for that shower light and your main puck lights in the bathroom. And then also you have your second max air fan, which again has that rain sensor and the fan and vent open close options. As we wrap up this walkthrough of the Model I, last but not least, it's important to note the owner's bag that we provide you. So we give you this nice black bag. You can be found in a cabinet or drawer in the unit. And then this is going to house all of your warranty information, owner's manuals, appliance owner's manuals and warranty information as well, and then also any accessories such as remotes or microwave accessories. Once again, thank you for your purchase of your Brinkley Model I travel trailer. We hope you're looking forward to that next camping trip you've got planned. If you're looking for any information on how-tos, again, be sure to refer to our owner's hub. If you have any questions beyond that, please don't hesitate to reach out to our customer care team. Their contact information can be found in the owner's manuals, on our website, brinkley.rv.com, or on your key tag. Happy camping! Starting off with the transfer switch.